So it probably doesn't help that I'm listening to this classical music right now, but like, or I am in love with the Phantom of the Opera more than ever. Good morning guys, and welcome to today's video. If you don't know me, my name is Rosa, and today I'm doing a reading vlog. I've been kind of in a funk recently, and I don't normally do like a bunch of reading during the weekends because I have so much work to do, but I have been wanting to finish this book for a really long time at this point. So today we're actually going to be reading Phantom Heart, which is a Phantom of the Opera retelling set in modern day. And if you don't know me, I am a big fan of Phantom of the Opera. I even have a tattoo. That's how I kind of justify my Phantom of the Opera-ishness. So this book just came out in 2021, so I'm very excited to read it. I'm actually already a little bit in. Hi, mamas. She is literally like the worst at the moment. So I'm only on page 90 of this book, which this book is a chonker. So we are going to, why? You love the sun. It's not a super chonker of a book, but it is chonky enough, which makes it finishing it by 6 p.m. a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm actually gonna have some breakfast right now. I'm just gonna make something really quick. I had to clean my entire house today too. So the way that I'm gonna be reading this book is I'm gonna actually start the whole process at 11 so I can just eat and then just get my mind ready. Anyways, yeah, so if you guys like these kind of videos, make sure to like and subscribe like I mentioned before, and let's go ahead and get started with today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoy. There will be spoilers and I will be explaining some things while I read the book. Okay guys, this isn't like the best angle, but it's what we're working with. So it's actually 10:30, and I thought before I would start completely reading this, I would talk a little bit about what I've read so far to let you guys know. So this video is gonna be with spoilers, just letting you know. So basically, this book is set in modern time. Like I mentioned, it is Phantom Heart by Kelly Krieg. Krieg? I think Krieg, yeah, Krieg. I don't have the slip on it right now just because I like to read without it, and then I just put the cover back on. But I said I'm on page 90, so there's a few things that's already happened. Number one, we know that there is a family that moves into a haunted house, and the haunted house is called Moldavia, and the sisters are Stephanie and Charlie, which is interesting because I would think that they would have renamed them Christine and Meg, maybe, for Phantom of the Opera purposes. But then their last name is actually Armand, which, if you don't know, Armand is the last name of one of the co-owners of the Opera Populaire in Phantom of the Opera, which makes me think that there might be a Christine character coming on, because technically they are invading the Phantom's house. So basically they just go into this house. The house is known to be haunted. There is a ghost there called Zedok, which, sure. He takes on the persona of a boy named Eric. Eric is the name of the Phantom. And basically what I found out now is that the family that he was part of, or this Eric spirit was part of, was something happened to them all on the same date. It was a mom, a dad, his little sister, and then Eric. And then we find out as well that Eric might have been in a cult. Stephanie meets this guy who is at the high school, and he like is part of a ghost investigation group, and like nobody wants to investigate the house but him, and she calls him like the hipster. Very weird. But anyways, so we're basically at the point where this kid comes to her house, the ghost investigator guy, and he's having dinner with her dad. So this book is 515 pages long. Hey guys, so it is now 12 o'clock. I have read for a full hour and now I'm on page 153. Basically now we're at the point where Stephanie now knows that Zedok exists. And I found out that Zedok isn't actually Eric, but is actually Zedok taking the form of Eric in her dreams. And we just got to the point where she has seen something for the first time in the house. So she now like believes in this ghost and we're doing that. What else? I don't want to go through too much. There's not really, the thing is with this, there's no twists yet, so I'm not sure, but all I know is that Eric was part of a cult. He was part of a cult called the Order of the Mothman, which I think is kind of funny considering Mothman. It's actually a cult that worships like Egyptian gods and things, and basically how he was cursed is that he and his friends went to Egypt. It's like so weird. They went to Egypt, they stole a mummy, they unwrapped the mummy in the house, and then the next day, they all left. The next day, him and his family all died, and no one knows what happened. And so the story is the mummy came to life and killed them. Very weird. We still don't know what exactly happened because Eric hasn't told us yet, or Zedok taking the form of Eric hasn't told us yet. But she's starting to get a little bit more interested in Lucas Cheney, which I think is funny that he has the last name Cheney because Shang-Yi is the last name of Raoul. So Lucas is playing the Raoul character and Zedok is playing the Phantom character. And I guess Stephanie is the Christine character. But there was a scene where one of his masks, I didn't tell you guys about this book, is that Eric's masks or Zedok's masks are like either masks or figments of his imagination or fellow ghosts. It's very weird. So he has about 13 different masks or like different like entities that hang out in the house with him that take him over. So the one that's the most used right now is the Wrath mask, but he just saw a female apparition like kind of come up and then like leave again. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the Christine character. But because he says all of his masks, if they are apparitions, they're apparitions of somebody in his past. So there could be a Christine in our midst. But anyways, yeah, so Lucas and Lucas and Stephanie seem to be having some sort of like very, not slow, because normal, I would say normal kind of relationship starting. And see, I don't like, I have like one romantic thing in here, but it's not for them because I never ship Raoul and Christine. That is not my thing. I've always been a Phantom Christine girl myself. Or if you read fan fiction, a Phantom and other people, because Christine's not good enough for him, let me just say. But yeah, so since Rich is still home, he actually goes to work at 1. I'm not gonna start cleaning yet because I do want to watch, while I'm cleaning, Family Opera 1989, which if you don't know, Family Opera 1989, you need to. It is Robert Englund. Robert Englund plays Freddy Krueger in the old Freddy Krueger movies. And he plays the Phantom of the Opera in the 89 version, which is one of my favorite versions of all time. I love 89, I love 91, because 91 is the Charles Dance version. Is it 91 or 90? It might be 90, actually. And he is like, if there was a Phantom that I would marry, it would be him. And then like, yeah, he would be the one that I would like end up marrying because his Phantom is just so good. But anyways, so I'm gonna go and I think I'm gonna photograph because I do resell clothing on the side, and I will show you guys really quick. This is my resale room. This is literally like, it's just such a mess, Hot Mess Express. And then I have comics here and everything, but I'm gonna photograph 10 pairs of jeans as my chore for in between reading. So that is my little check-in, 5 minutes and 45-second check-in to be exact. And I will be back once I am done reading for hour 2. Hey guys, so we are back and we're about to start our second hour of reading. I'm hoping, oh, that's my alarm saying that it's 1 o'clock. We're gonna read for an hour and then we're gonna go into cleaning mode. While I did this hour is I photographed and I filmed a TikTok. And that's what I did, because I like to do little TikToks here and there sometimes because I think they're fun. It's kind of something different to do. So yeah, but it is warm, so I changed into this tie-dye shirt and we're gonna read now. So I'll be right back after I'm done reading. I don't know if you guys wanna watch me read again, so I'm not gonna film this reading this reading part, but hopefully I'll get to halfway of the book. I'll get back to you guys after I'm done reading. Hello. Hi, Mama. Have you been staring at me the past like 5 minutes while I was reading? Yeah? Okay. Bye. I am looking like more and more of a hot mess for this reading vlog, but it got really hot in the house, so I put my hair up. But I am done with my 2nd hour reading sprint, and I'm on page 216, chapter 32, and I have definitely marked the book up a lot more. I'm getting to the part where like the love triangle is starting, where Eric and her almost kiss in the dream, but then he's like tortured, so like he can't kiss her. And then, but the difference between Phantom Heart and Phantom of the Opera is that I actually like the Raoul character, and I didn't think I would because I never like Raoul ever, because he's selfish. And so therefore I love this Raoul character because he's like just like what she needs in life. Basically what ends up happening, I'm gonna put my glasses on. I don't normally read with glasses on because I am farsighted and not nearsighted, by the way. Or is that the one? I don't know which. I can see like near, I just can't see far. So I really like the Raoul character. I just finished the chapter where they go to like this dance because Lucas and his partner Charlotte, they are actually professional swing dancers. And so Lucas invites Stephanie to watch them dance, and like it's like a kind of like a bar type atmosphere. Obviously they're under the age of 21, so I don't think it's like a bar per se, but it's like a dance hall, I think. And so anyways, so his best friend, who we find out Charlotte doesn't like him, or she kind of does because they dated, but like they're like best friends. So Charlotte comes up to Stephanie and is like, listen here, like, listen, this is my best friend, okay? Do you think I don't hear him say how your hair smells like ocean at midnight? And I'm all, with the chicken strips. Yes, girlfriend, like, I really like Raoul, or Lucas Cheney. Now I'm getting the chapter where she falls asleep, and obviously the next chapter is them getting together again, her and Eric. So I'm just like, Eric is like the I'm so torn between both of them. So instead of cleaning, I did inventory, but I'm having a little bit of a snack now. I'm a very weird eater. I love having like sweets and like savory. So I have strawberries, a couple slices of turkey, 1 thing of Spam, some cheese, and this new brownie batter hummus. It's only 6 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons, which is really good. So I'm having that as a snack, and then I'll probably just have some sort of a dinner later on today. So it is actually a few hours later. It is 4:35. I skipped my 3:20 reading because I wanted to finish up Too Hot to Handle, so I finished it, and then I cleaned the living room as well. But now I have to go ahead and clean the kitchen. But I decided I'm going to change out the smell in my living room. If you don't know, I use wax melts, and I buy from my girl AJ. She's a Scentsy consultant, and so I got this. And when I tell you this is a very Phantom of the Opera dark academia scent, you cannot prove me wrong. This is the scent called Thunderstorm, and they just came back from their Bring Back My Bar collection. And oh my god, if it doesn't smell like Phantom of the Opera's Lair, oh. And like not funeral, but like, that's a really ugly word for it. No, it's like Phantom of the Opera's Lair plus like dark, deep red roses, like, and man, oh my god. So I have this in my forever club that I do with Scentsy because this is it. This is my new like ultimate reading scent, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to start warming these because I want to do another hour read after I clean the kitchen. Then once I clean the kitchen, like I said, I will read, and then another hour after that, I will start cleaning the bathroom, because that's always the one that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to clean it, but we have to, we must. So I'm just gonna put on some booktube, listen to some people. I'm gonna go and clean. Hey guys, all right, so it is 5:07. I'm about to do another hour reading sprint. This playlist is called the Classical Dark Royalty Core Playlist by Artemis, and it's really nice so far. So this one is an hour and 8 minutes. So we are gonna go and start the dream sequence with our boy Zadok, AKA Eric, AKA I don't know who I like now, but we're gonna give Eric another shot. So let's get back into this. I feel like I look more and more disheveled. I put my hair down so I wouldn't look as disheveled. Maybe this makes me look more disheveled. I don't know. Let's go read. Hey guys, so it is an hour and 15 minutes later. I have read for an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm feeling pretty dang good. I'm on page 317 of Phantom Heart. And to be honest, I really wish this book had a different sleeve. I will show you the sleeve. It's very like teenage schoolgirl type sleeve, and I honestly don't think this deserves a sleeve like that. I think it's cute for like a contemporary, and even though this is technically contemporary, it's very Phantom of the Opera, like very heavy Phantom of the Opera. So I would have felt that it would be like a little bit more Victorian looking. I'll show you guys the sleeve at the end of this video when I put this away at the end. But let us tell you where we are now. So we are basically at the end of Act 1. Okay, because there is a part 2 to this book, which is kind of cool. It's definitely Phantom, like definitely intermission style Phantom. So we have ended off, there's a bunch of stuff that I read, but very important keynotes is there was a falling chandelier. Hi, how are you? Lucas goes to the hospital because Stephanie's dad gets like injured by the chandelier or whatever because of things that happened. It's like too much to say in like 3 minutes, but Stephanie says I have to go back to the house because Eric is still doing his own thing, and Lucas is like, well, you're not gonna go by yourself, and Stephanie's like, okay, well, I guess you can come if you like want to. And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna drive you home, but let me drive you home. And so basically this is when Stephanie decides to tell Lucas everything, and synopsis is that Lucas literally thinks Stephanie is insane, just like Ralph thinks that Christina is insane, so it's all good. It's sticking to the brand. And so basically Lucas has the idea. Oh, and then Lucas gets kind of jealous of Eric for like a second, but then like, I don't know if he's really jealous or not yet. So basically he calls up his Scooby gang and he's all like, hey guys, we're gonna go and sage this place because literally it's like disgusting in there and we need to get rid of all the evil spirits. But low-key, like Stephanie doesn't want to get rid of Eric, so like I don't know what's going on there. He was like, but let me talk to my Scooby gang because you sound a little crazy, so I have to kind of word it in a way that they're gonna want to come and do this. So he words it in a way, basically he half-asses the story and tells his friends like, hey, like there's a ghost, we gotta stage the ghost out. And that's literally all he tells them. And they're like, sweet, okay, we're coming through. So they come through, they go through the house and they're staging everything. They all separate or whatever. And after like a little bit, Lucas has to go into Stephanie's room to sage, but then there's also like a way up to the attic is what I understood. So they're gonna go and sage the attic, but once they're alone in the attic, we turn into the Apollo scene of Phantom of the Opera when Raoul and Christine are on the roof. This mimics that, where basically Lucas turns around and is like, hey girl. He doesn't say anything actually. Why did I say hey girl? He doesn't say anything. He literally turns around and like decides to make out with her. What a time to be alive. He just makes out with her out of like nowhere. Like there's no prompt, no nothing. He just makes out with her. They like each other, you know, they've dated, went on one date, but he makes out with her, like passionate make out, like I would call it like a 15+ type make out, nothing 18+ happening. They kiss or whatever, and of course, just like in Phantom of the Opera, at the end of Act 1, the Phantom sees this shit and he's all like, what? Instead of, you know, you will curse the day you did not do all that the Phantom asked of you kind of thing, he does more of a shutdown. He has like a little shutdown moment. Anyway, so they all leave the house for some reason. They think to leave like Stephanie by herself. Cool, sounds good. She falls asleep. She starts feeling that the dream is coming back again, so that's good. She's excited. She wants to talk to Eric and see like what's going on there. And she wakes up in this boat in the dream. She wakes up in this boat, okay? Just like the boat in Phantom of the Opera. Okay. And then she gets up, she looks at what she's wearing, like randomly. She's like, I'm just gonna see what I'm wearing, because she hasn't seen what she's wearing in any of these dreams. So she just decides to look down. She's wearing this like beautiful off the shoulder, like burgundy dress, like total Phantom of the Opera vibes. She turns to him and goes, Eric, like I wanna talk to you. Eric, I wanna talk to you. And he's like, Eric is dead. And she's like, what do you mean Eric is dead? So he basically does a full shutdown. He's all like, Eric does not exist in this brain anymore, completely shut down because he's just so tormented. And plus we don't have a heart anyways. I think he's like borrowing one. I don't know how that whole thing worked out, but because his curse means he has no heart. It's like a whole backstory. Again, read the book if you want more in depth of like what's going on there. But anyway, so she wakes up, she's like, I don't like this. Something feels off. Like, what's going on? And then he's all like, don't panic, because if you panic, my spell's not gonna work. And then she's all, what do you mean? What spell? And then he like doesn't talk to her again. And she's like, I didn't mean to hurt you. I know that you saw. And he's all like, you can't hurt me. There's nothing you can do that could hurt me or whatever. Again, we are blanked out. We know no emotions happening. So she decides to panic, which is, I would do that too. And because she feels like something is off. So she jumps out of the boat into the lake, and guess what? There's no lake. There's literally a floor, and she jumps out of somebody's arms. So that's cool, end of Act 1. And then she turns around, she's like, what? Like that's the last sentence, what? And then we go into part 2, which is actually a chapter on Lucas. Lucas has his own very own chapter, little boy. Lucas has his own chapter. The only reason for that chapter is to let us know what the hell happened. All right, guys, so I am now lying down to read. I am on page 327, and I just realized who Rastin is supposed to be. Rastin is a clairvoyant who has tried to exorcise the house in the past, and I'm pretty sure Rastin is supposed to be Nadir Khan, who Nadir is someone who knows the Phantom in the book. He's actually not in the musical. Madame Giry really plays the Nadir Khan character in the musical, even though Madame Giry is also in the book. But she doesn't have as large of a role. Deer is the person, so if you want to get into the back of the folklore, if you read Susan Kay's Phantom, Nadir kind of grew up with the Phantom kind of when he was working in Persia, creating like mirror mazes and stuff, and like just doing a lot of cool shit over there. Sorry, my music is going because I'm still reading, but I just realized that Rastin is the Nadir Khan of this book, and of course my music cut off because welcome to my life, my phone still doesn't want to attach to the TV. But anyways, yeah, I'm on page 327. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this tonight, you guys. It's making me really sad because I really wanted to like read it in a full day, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I'm gonna read as much as I can, and if I don't finish it tonight, I'll probably finish tomorrow morning before I leave. Okay, you guys, I am back. So I am realizing there's a lot more details what's going on. I'm only on page 336, so it hasn't been that long, but I've realized that Charlotte is Carlotta, okay, as well. And then he is actually Red Death. So Eric is actually Red Death. That's what Zadok is. I think Zadok is Red Death because he is in a crimson outfit in this scene, which makes sense because this seems like they're trying to do the masquerade scene, which is also part of Act 2, which I completely forgot about. But it's in a Crimson Peak winter type of vibe. Like, I can just imagine Stephanie running out like as the act. Oh my god, I forget her freaking name. I know Thomas Sharp, but that's it. Crimson Peak is my favorite movie. So I completely forgot. Well, it's not my favorite movie, but it's my favorite gothic horror romance next to Dracula and Phantom of the Opera, clearly. I am like living for this him being Red Death right now because he has a skeletal face, so it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Anyways, gonna keep on reading. So it probably doesn't help that I'm listening to this classical music right now, but like I am in love with the Phantom of the Opera more than ever. But like he said, like, what did he say? He says, if I was of your world and your time, you would not have chosen him. I would have made you forget him. I would have given you everything. I would have snatched you out of his grasp. I would have made you mine. I would have. What's the problem here? Just, I think it's also the music I'm listening to, even though this music is very depressing. It's from a very depressing ass movie, but oh my god, this is like making me feel a certain way. And I didn't think I'd feel a certain way with a YA Phantom of the Opera book about 17-year-olds, but here I am. Hey guys, what is up? So it is it is late. It is 11:06. I have not finished the book yet. I am so freaking close though. I'm at page 439 and the book is 515 pages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wake up early tomorrow and finish it, which is like make the book last, but I have nothing freaking to do with the actual book. Like, so I might not even keep the cover on it because literally the just regular book looks exactly what it needs to look like. This is what the cover of the book looks like. Now, when you see this, it's pink, it's cute, you know, almost seems like a cute little teeny bop story. The back, close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. It like has flowers all over it. It's very pretty, which I now understand what the flowers represent, as they represent Miriam's roses in the conservatory. But like, this is a dark ass book. Like, it's demons and 12 different personalities of Eric's ghost, and like it's so much more deep than the sleeve. I honestly didn't buy it for the sleeve. I bought it because it was a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and like that just heals my soul. But this red, black mask, you know, basic, this represents the book so much more, I feel like, than the actual book sleeve. Yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. I will see you guys all tomorrow and we will finish this. So technically this is a 24-hour read of some point. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video at this point. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. I look a little bit of a hot mess express, but isn't it not different than yesterday's by the end of the reading vlog? So we are back. We have 75 pages left of Phantom Heart. I put on my Thunderstorm scent, drinking some coffee. I'm about to put on the same music I was listening to yesterday, and we're gonna finish this book out this morning. I've also been writing a bunch of notes for a review, so I'm thinking about a review for this book because it did just come out, and I think a lot of Phantom of the Opera people that are shippers of Phantom and Christine may like this book. So I'm gonna do a dedicated review to it, so it won't be super long at the end of this video, because I will keep all of my other thoughts and stuff for that video, because I have a feeling it's gonna be really long. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish reading the book, and I will get back to you guys once I am finished. I finished it. It's done. Book is done. The cat is freaking out over there. I loved it. It was so good. The ending was so good, you guys. Oh my god. I kept talking to myself, and I was like, this is too freaking romantic for me. I cannot handle this. This book, I loved it. I loved it so much. So much. I know I'm very close to the camera, but whatever. I am definitely gonna reread this book at some point because it's just too good. There was a little spicy moment towards the end of the book, which I thought was actually tastefully put in. I like that I like that it was an ending of the book thing. But basically what ends up happening, and then I'm gonna talk about this in my reviews as well of my actual full-on thought, but basically the last 75 pages were probably the most freaking romantical pages I've ever read in my entire life. Well, that's not true. Winter Song is pretty damn romantic as well, but which is Lily, what are you doing? Mama is them in the alternate universe of Moldavia, and she starts to fall in love with him, officially starts to fall in love with him, because he turns back into the man he was in her dreams from the beginning or the middle of the book, where yeah, basically he turns back into Eric, which, you know, she sees through the Red Death mask, and she sees through all of that, and of course she sees she gives him a heart back, because something happens in the conservatory where the roses start to grow again. And so she picks one of the roses, and the roses are the hearts that he uses. I thought, for example, we had to sacrifice some people and get some beating ass hearts, real hearts. And I was like, oh shit, this would have been cool. But no, they're roses. So they're metaphysical type hearts. And she puts it in his chest. She just puts that in there. And so for something changes in him, and he becomes Eric again, who's the stupidest, most romantical person in the entire world, and I just want to die. And I was finally, basically, he sacrifices himself for her because he wants her to escape, but his curse won't allow her to escape this alternate or parallel universe that they're in. It's an after, I don't know what it really is. It's a portal, and it's a parallel plane. If you know anything about ghosts, they obviously live in a parallel plane. I'm gonna sound really weird, but that's what it is. They live in a parallel universe, so that's why sometimes they're able to touch things here, and that's, you know, ghost hunting. But yeah, so she's able to cross through universes because basically they have a moment where they waltz. There's a part where they waltz, and then she really does learn to love him. And so they waltz, they get a little jiggy with it. They have this really nice romantic scene, and then he pulls away from her. I freaking hate that. He pulls away from her, and then you find out later that when she falls asleep, he actually returns her to her own world, and she fights to be with him or whatever. And then, super spoiler alert, he asks Lucas to kill him, to stab him with this certain blade, Tumult Blade, I think it's what it's called, and stab him with it so he can die and she can be free. And I'm just the dragon. us. If you haven't seen Dracula the musical, then you wouldn't know, but that's basically the ending, is basically he telling her to kill him because she needs to be free. And it's just like so gothically romantic. It's just disgustingly romantic. Anyways, so I like had crying moments. So basically he dies for her, but then she is like, no, F that, you're not dying for me, I want to be with you forever, kind of a thing. So she goes and she tells him to like wake up. And then basically what ends up happening is in the end there's kind of like a weird break in between of those like scenes where we're basically now Lucas's side of things, which honestly I didn't really care about the modern stuff at all, but like Lucas's side of things is they decide that she's gonna be part of their spooky gang now, because now she's returned to the real world, and obviously Eric is still in the other plane, but he's not like gone, he's still there. And he can't come back home without his heart. So basically the whole thing is that Stephanie becomes his heart, and obviously Stephanie isn't dead, so he can't come home until she dies, but he's not gonna kill her, obviously. Like, they're gonna just be in like this forbidden ghost person love thing. And yeah, so now she's gonna be part of the spooky gang, and well, they're gonna tell her about that. And then Eric and her just resume life together, and like he teaches her how to play piano and sing and all that stuff, and now she's gonna go to Juilliard or something. But the only thing is, with her going to Juilliard, like how is Eric gonna like follow her there? Because obviously he can't, because he's tied to the house until Stephanie basically dies. That's gonna be the end of today's reading vlog. Those final thoughts is I love this book so much. And if you listen to like romantic classical music while you read this, girl, it enhances the romanticism in this book, and the sleeve of this book does nothing for this book. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I have to go ahead and get ready. I'm taking one of my friends out to lunch today. I'm taking her to a really cute Argentinian restaurant, and we're gonna go eat there. And so I'm gonna have this video up and uploaded, hopefully, well, by the time you see this it'll be up, so hopefully by next weekend, because I need this vlog to come out, because I need to share it with you guys. But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys all really soon. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.